Well, hello, everyone. It's great to be able to be part of your Neolife event in East Africa today. And Neolife's not wasting any time on getting 2022 started, as you can see. And what I'm going to share with you this afternoon is something very exciting regarding the products. So let's get it kicked off like everything else. What we are introducing today is a brand new product, and that is Magnesium Complex. Right, so you might be saying, well, we've heard about magnesium, what's so new about it? What is unique about this product? Haven't we got it in some of our other products? And of course, the answer is true, we do have others, but I'm going to show you as we unfold this afternoon how important magnesium actually is. Because after all, you've got an entire scientific advisory board working for you. They work behind the scenes, they're part of your business, they in fact added value to your business. And they are the ones who are constantly looking at the trends of diet, of lifestyle conditions and the relationship between the two. And while magnesium, yes, is a very well-known nutrient, they've started to discover that in fact, around the world, there's quite an issue with the shortage of magnesium in the human body. So that is why we've decided as a company to spend our time and our energy and introduce a product like this into the marketplace around the world. Now, magnesium is one of actually the busiest minerals. It's a very influential mineral, in fact, involved in hundreds of different systems around the body, processes and functions. Now, the interesting thing is also, which is why there is a concern, is that, of course, the human body doesn't make minerals. It has to get them from the foods that we eat, whether it be food or drinks, but it's an external dietary factor. So this is where the problem actually comes in, because we know that in our more modern lifestyles, we're not necessarily being able to choose the foods we'd like to eat due to the food processing, or perhaps we simply don't like some of those foods. So in some ways, this problem has been created in a fairly new era. Let's look at minerals just for a minute and see how we can get them from the food chain and how they actually get to the human body. Minerals start out in the rocks and in the earth. They get into the water, they get into the soil, both of which, of course, nourish the plants that we plant in our soil, on our farms, in our gardens. And that nutrient then, that mineral coming from the soil and from the water that gets into the plant, gets taken in either by an animal who might be grazing on that plant or eating it, and of course, humans who are eating that plant, or in some cases, perhaps eating something from the animal and getting it into our diet as well. So that is kind of the food chain, and that's the way you and I actually generally obtain the minerals in our diet and into our bodies. But this process isn't always happening and working for us in a positive way. So let's look at why we're not getting enough magnesium and why our scientists believe it's important that we bring out a Neolife version of this mineral. Because the levels of magnesium in our diet are decreasing. And that's simply because the refining of our foods to make them more convenient, to make them have a longer shelf life, is actually minimizing the amount of magnesium in the food in its natural source. Sometimes up to 70 or 80% of the magnesium can get lost in this refining and modernizing process. The bioavailability, in other words, the amount that we can actually absorb, is also reducing. And you can see there, large proportions of the magnesium is not actually being absorbed in the body. And the interesting thing is, again, is some of our lifestyle choices, some of our ways of living. Just for example, extra salt that we're having in our food, whether it be by choice or by the fact that foods are processed, that interferes with the absorption of magnesium. Some of the medications that are commonly used these days, antacids, for example, people take that because of digestive discomfort. Well, often that digestive discomfort actually comes from our more modern Western lifestyle that we're starting to tend to be participating in. It's causing us to actually not be able to absorb minerals like magnesium as well as we used to. So these are basic lifestyle factors that interfere with absorption to a very large extent. And then, of course, simply the way that we are doing farming methods, we have to give that soil or that farm enough time to be able to nourish itself again. We have to be able to get that magnesium back into the soil so that it can get into the plant. But if we're constantly over farming, if you like, not respecting and nourishing that soil adequately, it's not going to get into our food supply. So I think you can start to see there's some quite basic common sense problems that we're encountering in terms of our magnesium. Right, so what does magnesium do and what is Neolife focusing on in terms of bringing magnesium into the marketplace? Well, it has, as I said, many, many applications in the body, but what we want to focus on more specifically is its value in the muscle system. We know that with calcium, vitamin D, and magnesium, they all go together. So very important for the muscle so that we can use it, so that it doesn't cramp, so that it can relax and contract. Energy production. We have other products that produce energy or help us to produce energy or to feel that we are energized. But in fact, magnesium works right inside the cell, helps with the production of the cellular energy. And interestingly, it also helps that energy get to where you need it in the body. So if you're using those muscles, for example, magnesium helps to distribute that energy to the muscle that you're using. So very important in the way our body works and the way we feel. Yes, it's involved in the bone. In fact, most of the magnesium is stored in our bone. But also a very important component that we're seeing and our scientists are starting to concern themselves with is our mental health, our psychological well-being. Not that we have a disease, it's just that we have stresses and strains of our modern living, and also, of course, in this time that we're all living right now, we have additional challenges to our sense of mental health and well-being. And by that, I'm just talking about everyday things like maybe going back to school, writing exams, lots of challenges in that department. Perhaps we're just generally anxious, concerned perhaps about where our lives are going, perhaps just feeling a little bit low, just a work overload, maybe even relationship issues. These are all things that challenge us for our mental health and well-being. And so magnesium helps to not necessarily take the problem away, it helps us to manage ourselves much more effectively. So a very important component, mental health, in this day and age. And it's something we should really focus on. And I'm really pleased that Neurolife has given you something that you can go out and help people with. And then I talked about muscles and energy. And of course, we don't have to only be exercises. I'm just showing you that we're always using our muscles all the time in virtually anything we do, whether we're young or elderly. And of course, if we're a sports person, even more pronounced. So it helps the muscle, as I said, to work more effectively. It helps the energy to get to the muscle so that it can work. And this is even true in, for example, the elderly. Some of the research has found that the elderly are able to perhaps walk more briskly than they were before. Some have even found in some of the research that they can get themselves out of a chair more effectively, simply because they have magnesium in their muscles, in their body, and have energy to be able to use that magnesium. So these are the focuses that we want you to actually go out and have a look at. Use yourself and think about other people who would benefit from this, even if they're using other Neurolife products. This is an addition to those products they're already using. And one of those products, of course, that's probably come to your mind is CalMag, because yes, there's calcium and magnesium, and I've talked about both of those already. And yes, of course, this is a much loved product and a very effective one, but it's very specifically designed with a ratio of magnesium to calcium for our bone and joint health, but specifically our bones and strengthening our skeleton. But it doesn't mean that we might have enough magnesium. And so, as I say, you can see from the things I've talked about that magnesium has become an issue in the modern world that we're living in. And some of the things we would like you to focus on, as I say, is mood, anxiety, irritability, stress. Add that even to the CalMag if someone is already taking calcium, if they are expressing those needs or you feel that they would benefit from it. And of course, it would help the CalMag in the areas of energy and, of course, muscle contraction and relaxation. So what I'm pointing out here is that we add this product to products that people might already be taking. It's not overdoing it. There is an actual need for it. So we're saying take some magnesium now. You're probably not got as much in your system as you think you might have. And we want to just top it up 1 tablet a day. And you'll see, of course, as a typical Neurolife difference, we don't want to add to the problem. Our modern world already adds artificial colors and flavors and sweeteners and preservatives. And so we make sure that we provide things that are sourced from nature, but we don't add all these things that complicate our health component. And this is completely plant-based. So this is a really naturally sourced set of ingredients that we've got from the earth that we should be getting from our food and aren't always able to do so. So what I want to do now is show you just a little video just to kind of summarize all the things I've said.
Foot cramps, migraines, muscle spasms, inflammation. all signs that could point to low magnesium. Reports estimate that approximately 50% of South Africans do not consume the recommended daily amount of magnesium. Magnesium deficiency is alarmingly prevalent today. Magnesium is a major mineral essential for hundreds of biochemical reactions in the body, promoting normal psychological function, normal muscle function, and energy production. Without magnesium, we literally cannot produce ATP cellular energy. Today's food contains historically low levels of magnesium because of factors such as food processing, changing farm practices, and soil depletion. According to research published by the US National Institutes of Health, 60 to 70% of the food-based magnesium consumed is not absorbed, coupled with the effects of stress, unhealthy lifestyle, and the use of many prescription and over-the-counter drugs that deplete magnesium. Supplementation is a good solution. That's where we come in. For over 60 years, Neolife has been recognized as an innovative global leader in scientific research and product technology, creating products to help you feel better, look better, and live better. Products that are based in nature and backed by science. Now introducing our latest breakthrough in nutrition science, the one-of-a-kind Neolife Magnesium Complex with 150 milligrams of naturally sourced and highly bioavailable magnesium per 1 tablet serving. The first magnesium supplement of its kind to feature phytonutrient and magnesium-rich whole foods from beetroot, kale, broccoli, and radish, with Neolife's exclusive Tri-Mag blend, including double amino acid chelated magnesium, organically bound magnesium citrate, and the natural earth form magnesium oxide, multiple forms for maximum benefit. Simply magnificent.
Well, here you can see we're very, very excited about this. And I thought what we would just do is to make sure that you fully understand where it fits in, kind of just a little Q&A session to finish off, just to remind you of some of the features and benefits and what to discuss with your customers as you share this product with them. So just, give yourself a little mental quiz as we go along. So what is magnesium? Is it a vitamin or is it a mineral? Right, it's a mineral. Do other Neolife products contain magnesium? Yes, of course they do, but we did say, share it, take it with the other products. Which factors most accurately explain our increased need for magnesium? Well, you can see we saw on that video too, poor farming methods, processed food choices, and use of various medications. So who could be encouraged to try a magnesium complex? Who would you chat to? I mean, there are many aspects, but this is just an idea. Someone expressing stress and anxiety or in need of an additional pick-me-up, even if they're taking our other products. So there we are. If someone's already using the Neolife products for energy or feelings of stress and anxiety, must they stop the other products before introducing Magnesium Complex? No, I think we've made that point now. We add it to the other products. Would it be suitable for someone already taking chelated CalMag to take Magnesium Complex as well? Absolutely. Because it's going to, if their need is there and you can recognize a need, they're a sports person perhaps, or they have, as I say, added stresses. Doesn't matter if they're taking chelated CalMag, they can afford some extra magnesium. Magnesium Complex is unique in the marketplace because it contains 3 different types of magnesium. Is that true or is it false? It's true. Remember, you saw that it is a chelated form. There's a one from citrus fruits, which is very water soluble, so it dissolves and spreads very easily. And then we went right back to the earth, into the soil, and got some of the magnesium out of there. So we've really combined a whole lot of different natural resources into one product, which is very unique on the marketplace. And you'll also see, since I'm talking about this, we made reference to some of those vegetables, the kale and the beetroot and the radish and the broccoli. That's a phytomag, phyto meaning plant. And we've added that. We just simply added some of those foods into the mix and said, okay, come on, nature, you do your synergy, work with the ingredients, work with the product, allow the human body to absorb it and make the best use of it. So this really is not just magnesium. It is a complex of magnesium components, but totally unique in the marketplace. There is not another product like this. And I think that's what you've come to expect from Neolife products. And that is what our scientists are bringing, not just magnesium, because you can see there's a strong need for it, but a unique magnesium product that you can go out and share with other people and make a difference in their lives. So that's what I have to share with you today in terms of the information. This is what you'll have. This is what the product will cost you. This is information for the distributors, and you will be receiving this price list. We've also, of course, got literature, supporting information, your fast facts. There's a very nice Magnesium Complex brochure. And in fact, the little video that I showed you will be available to you. So ask the company for that information or access to it, because that's very useful to share with your customers as well. And we really do believe this is simply magnificent. And I believe when you start using the products and start sharing it and getting the good results, you will understand that it simply is magnificent. So thank you very much for listening to the product. Please God, it's available in your DC right now. So don't forget to make a stop there and start sharing the product and using it yourself. Enjoy the rest of your event.